Jordan's messages.
Words cannot express my gratitude, my thanks. Every single person who clicked like, I love you. And every single person who thought, not this time, I will pass. You're still welcome to watch this show, because we welcome everybody, Josh. Everybody needs the good news of messages. But to those of you who actually took the strenuous effort, carpal tunnel, click, like, I love you. We did it. Thank you. Let's get to the messages. Hi, Josh and Jordan. I was wondering if you had any advice on how to get on the dating scene. Everyone's telling me I'm 18 now, and that you should go to a bar or club and see what happens. But I hate the taste of alcohol, and nightclubs aren't really my thing. Besides, I'm not looking for a hookup. This is a crazy message, Josh, okay? All those kids out there who are watching right now, when this question popped up, it has solidified in their mind that now forever they have to hide messages from their parents. And it's sad, Josh, it's sad, because this is the world we live in, and these are real questions from real people. However, it's like the cleanest show on the entire internet. It would be hiding. However, I don't really think speed dating is the right way to go either. The atmosphere feels forced and it seems needy, and his is my first relationship. Who is his? Josh, who is his?
I don't.
Just the person she would be on the speed dating with?
Oh, this! It's supposed to be this.
Oh! And this is my first relationship. I don't want to dive into a deadly serious relationship either, because I really don't know what I like. Plus, 18 feels a bit young for speed dating or a dating website. A lot of people meet friends of friends, but I don't have a group of friends to go out with. I have a couple of friends here and there. The only thing I can think of is maybe an art class or art meetup where I could find like-minded people who may be more open to socialize rather than... This is so incredibly interesting because I was literally just thinking about this the other day. You know, growing up the way I did, how I am now. I was thinking the other day, how different would it have been if I hadn't grown up the way I had? Like, how do people meet in a dating relationship? And I was like, wow, they just go to bars. they just go to bars and see if that's what they do. Am I mistaken, Josh?
I've wondered about this too, and I've thought that same thing, but then I have wondered if maybe that's just because I don't know, and so I said, bars, maybe?
Well, no, because I say that because any of my friends who, like, I met in college or whatever, that I didn't grow up with, we didn't grow up the same way, like, at all. When it's like, when they were in relationships, that's, like, how they met. That's how they ended up meeting up, it always turned out. And, like, on Facebook, it'd always be these pictures of them, like, with the terrible lighting in bars with the person, and it's like, oh, okay, so this is how people... Now, that was a long time ago, when I was in college. Now it's like, is it Tinder? What is it?
I don't know.
Look, I wouldn't advise any of it, okay? I would say go back in time, grow up a different way, come out a different person, and then have a normal relationship, okay? Just like I did. I have no advice for you. It's sad. It's true. It's sad. Dear Taylor Brothers, here's a short message for you, Jordan. I am married to the love of my life. He is amazing and I love him, but I have a problem. I can't stop thinking about my ex. We were together in high school, and it was a good relationship that ended because he moved away. I don't really want to be with him, but I can't help but wonder what could have been. It's making me anxious, and I feel really guilty that he even crosses my mind. My question is, do y'all have any tips for getting completely over him once and for all? It's a scary question. I was just telling Sarah this the other day. I think it's the hardest thing in the world when a relationship, friendship or romantically ends abruptly, and there's never any closure. Because the human brain was not meant for that. There's always meant to be a beginning and an end to stuff. This is stories.
When someone dies, it takes, your brain goes through the five stages.
The 5 stages.
Because it's just like all of a sudden someone's not there anymore.
And it's like, what do you do? It's very strange, and it was never meant to be this way. It was never meant to happen. So when this happens in a friendship, it's sad. When it happens in a romantic relationship, it's devastating. How do you get over this? Okay, this is a great question. I think honestly, the only way to truly, if this has been going on for years, and this still goes through your mind, it's not even like you want to act on it or anything. It's like, this is just how the human brain is wired. What if? This isn't a bad question. It's a question that you're being forced to ask because this is how humans are. The only way to have closure, I think, is to ask your husband, and just be open, being completely honest. This is the way that it should be able to work. Your husband should be secure enough that you should go to him and say, look, this is how it is. I had a boyfriend when I was younger, okay? It meant something to me, obviously. It ended abruptly, okay? It was messed up. It still messes with me some. Not that I want to be with this guy, but it's just, it hurt. I think it would be nice if I could just meet up with this guy or talk to him one time and just not even see what happens, not just end. I'm just saying just like have a conversation. I think, and I don't even know what you would say.
About what happened.
Yeah, and I think that I honestly think that nothing would come from it like romantically. You guys are so different at this point. I think that you would be shocked at how different you are. But I think that it would help you to move on. And I really do think that. I think that is the only way to get over something like that. Okay?
Wow.
Okay. Was that okay?
That was good.
Guys, sometimes when I am answering questions on messages, I need to take a break. And my favorite thing to do on break is Joyride. Guys, if you enjoy trivia apps, you're gonna enjoy today's sponsor, Joyride. Joyride has music, trivia, polling, and dating shows that run all day. It's a lot of fun. There's actually like a live host who's there all the time who's like reading you the questions, and there's like thousands of people on, and you can video chat with, well, I'm gonna video chat with my wife. We're gonna get on in just a little bit and we'll play with you guys. They've given away more than $100,000 in the last month. All right, well, it is about time for this to start, so let me hop on and get with Sarah.
Hello everyone, and welcome each and every one of you to Quizzo here on Joyride. Hooray!
So weird, it's like actually a live video.
It's time for
Wow.
Quizzo.
Right.
Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started. Best of luck.
Okay, let's play.
Okay, here we go. I'm so scared. Question 1.
Question number 1. A ranch where city slickers get to play cowboy is also called a what? Is
Dude
it Spa
Ranch.
Ranch? Dude Ranch. Time's up. The correct answer was Dude Ranch.
Tons of people didn't know that one. We locked out, man. Dude, thank God.
In order to grow into a queen bee,
Dude, I know this
a
question.
larval bee must eat a lot of this.
It's
Is it
royal
beeswax,
jelly.
Royal jelly. Was royal jelly. Congrats to the 340 of you to guess correctly here, and to make it to question number 6, you will all be taking a piece of the $50 cash prize.
Wow.
Hooray! And it is now time for
Was that fun?
It was actually very fun. I had a lot of fun. She's a good host. Give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. You can get it on iOS and Android. And download Joyride now because they're starting a show very soon and you don't want to miss it. Click the link down in the description below and make sure when you're on Joyride to use our username blimeycow as a referral code so that you can get a free sign-up bonus. The name is Joyride. Click the link down in the description. Let's get to the messages. Dear Jordan, so I have noticed a problem in my youth group recently. Ever since I had started taking part in the youth group, I have noticed some bad things happening. Last year, we did this camping trip for the middle school and the high school guys. Wait, is youth group middle school too? I can't remember when I got it. Because when I went to youth group, they kept pushing it back. I just remember in youth group, I was always like, oh, next year I'm in youth group. And they're like, oh, we're going to push it so you have to be a little older. I was like, so that happened for like 2 years. But there was this guy who dropped the F-bomb at the camping trip. I told an adult leader who told him to stop. And then about an hour later, he did it again. And also, there was this group of guys who were making jokes about really inappropriate stuff. And then last week during worship time, that same group of guys were still making inappropriate jokes. I was going to tell one of the adults, but they said, not now. So I took matters into my own hands. I politely asked them to stop, and they did. And then, surprise, surprise, 30 minutes later, they did it again. I kept trying to get them to stop, but they wouldn't. How can I get them to stop this bad behavior? James, look, I know, I was there, okay? I know what you're going through. You hear these people when you're like, wow, everybody's a Christian that goes to my church. Everybody is should be the same way as I kind of am in church. And the sad truth is that 99.9% of people are not this way, okay? Most people who go to your church, and this is a sad truth, most kids who go to your church and grow up they're going to be completely different people when they grow up, okay? Now, this message, I don't think this is going to happen to you, but most kids are going to be, they're gonna go off the rails, okay? This is how it's happened. I've witnessed this in my life. Just know that while you're in church right now, it does get much worse. There's nothing to look forward to. When you get into college and you get into all these different things, when you go get a job, when you go to work, every single person is these kids who think that they're so cool for dropping the F-bomb once every 10 sentences. It goes to once every sentence. It goes to 3 times a sentence. It is amazing at how these people can splice these words together and you actually understand what they're saying. It's actually a talent. It's incredible. But they're everywhere. Okay? You can't do anything about it. You're gonna get F's in school if all you try and do is stop these people from saying the F word. And you'll have different F's to worry about. Just, it'll be okay. All right. Josh is making me worried about this next message. I tried to make a joke, and he didn't want me to make a joke. I'm very intrigued, Josh. Very intrigued. Hi, Jordan. I have a big problem. Recently, my dad got a new phone, and he was struggling with his videos autoplaying on Facebook. Oh, no. I took his phone and turned it off for him. Oh, no. When I was done, got out of Facebook settings and clicked on the video tab on Facebook, where Facebook takes the type videos that you watch in through their algorithms and suggests videos to you. As soon as I clicked on that tab, my heart literally skipped a beat. What did they see? I saw the most provocative and naughty thumbnails for videos on that suggested list. This brought me to the conclusion that my dad is probably watching some nasty stuff on Facebook. How do I go about confronting my own father about this? We were never supposed to answer questions like this. Humans were never supposed to be in these situations. We are so messed up as a society, as a world, as a people in this world, that a child has to get on a creation that is destroying his father. And he has to find a way to confront him, to help his own father.
Why can't we all just be like James?
Why can't we always be like James? This makes me so uncomfortable. Jake, I don't even know what to say, man. How do you confront your father? Look, all right, so at this point in time, it's a pretty likely chance that your dad might be watching some funny things that he shouldn't watch. I think... How do you go about this, Josh? Help me out here. I mean, what does he do? Like, does he just go up to him and say, Dad, so when I was on... Look, just quote me on this. All right, just follow along. Write this down. Have it in your ears when you're going up to your dad. Dad, I So I was on, you know, when I was helping you with autoplay, I was on, and I clicked on to make sure it was working, and, you know, all these videos came up that didn't seem. They're not on mine, is what I'm trying to say. And and it doesn't make sense. And I was wondering if maybe you needed help. Look, this is all JP. This is all about just how mature you are. Look, okay, this would destroy most people. If you can actually say what I said, this is gonna go one of two ways, depending on how your dad is, and you'll know. Your dad will either you'll have a rude awakening about your dad, and your dad will say, "Oh no, what? Like, what do you no?" And it's gonna be extremely awkward. Okay, he's gonna try and save this persona that he has now created. Or your dad could have a breakthrough, and he could be like, you know, son,
maybe Facebook wasn't the best place.
Maybe my new smartphone wasn't the best thing for me, and I need help. This is going to be one of the hardest conversations or things that you will probably have to do in the next 5 years. I would say you will always remember this moment when you have this conversation. If you choose to have it, you could go turn a blind eye, and that's not going to help anybody. I don't know exactly if you should confront your dad or if you should have somebody else confront your dad, but I honestly think that it might be more impactful if you do. So,
because now it's affecting the son.
Right.
Wow. Oh, that's heavy, Jordan. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
JP, I'm sorry, man. Sorry. Guys, I know that I say a lot of, you know, extremes on this show. This was the most. This was the greatest. This was the worst, the least, message, whatever. I'm going to do it again for this episode. I would say that message was probably the most heavy message I have read ever. And probably for the next year. Because this world is getting crazier by the day, Josh. I don't know what to anticipate in the next year. I'm still trying to. I hope I answered it right. This is really impacting somebody's life, Josh. I mean,
did the best you could. Look, that kid is in a situation he should have never been in.
Alright, well, we'll be back soon. Probably, guys. Go check out Joyride. Okay, click the link in the description. Don't be messy. And leave good messages.